Now you're tuned in. So we got LinkedIn, we got YouTube. These are the two platforms that I primarily go live on. Sometimes it's Facebook tied in with my Facebook business page, but not so much with this playlist because this one is strictly just based on the Daily Drucker, Peter Drucker's 366 Days of Business Scenarios. Great book. Let me just click this link before I get too far ahead of myself. And it's definitely worth getting. And with this primary conversation, right? We're still on the e-commerce thing. So this is, if you can see with the previous playlist and the list and then the play before that, right? We really get into just the evolution of the dot-com era and so forth. And then we kind of started talking about e-commerce and what that means with business. And on this particular playlist, I really want to read what he says. You're going to see how this is dated. And when I say dated, how much has actually changed when it comes to when this was pushed out in 2004 to present day right now when you're listening to this. I'm not even going to say what present day is on here. It'll probably say pre-recorded, whatever. But for the purposes of the playlist itself, I want to make sure that I'm not saying that, because why would I do that? Whenever you're hearing it, you're going to know whether it's relevant or not, right? So let's see what he says. He's talking about the challenge of e-commerce and what that's probably going to do for business, and how some people felt one way about it and some people felt another way about it. And he kind of debunks it and really throws optimization in there. He kind of gives you an opportunity to think outside the box with this particular one. So here's what he says. He goes, we don't know yet which goods and services, which we already do know. We don't know yet which goods and services will turn out to be the most suitable for e-commerce. But we do know that any success in selling through e-commerce, whether business to business or business to consumer, is going to be seen as a threat by the traditional distribution channels, such as the submarkets or the local offices of the brokerage houses. So he's really talking about real estate too. He's like, so how is this going to affect real estate, right? The thing is with real estate is you still need someone to be able to provide the customer service that you need and the knowledge behind selling a home, right? You could almost, in a sense, just say, well, you know what? The house has the following things. The picture looks like this. I'm going to go see it. I'm going to sign a contract. Yeah, that's true, right? But what happens when you don't know enough about it, right? You're just going based off of the information provided, and you don't have someone really working on your behalf and arguing for you while you focus on your career or whatever you're doing, right? So there's an aspect where you still need a human being in there. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get past that. He says it's going to cannibalize our business. The traditional distributors will scream, right? Essentially, if past experience has any guide, it may, in many cases, add traditional business and actually increase their business and their profit, right? Here's why. He goes, that's often a result of a new distribution channel, because this is essentially another channel for distribution, e-commerce, right? So why would it tank you? Okay. So he goes, but we don't know that for a good many years, which we're over 19 years now. He says, nor will we know for some years which goods and services will lend themselves to distribution through e-commerce. And there's no point in trying to guess. So the decision to push e-commerce is a risky one at the time because of the fear of the unknown. Imagine how far off they are right now from what I'm reading, right? And hearing what they're saying and knowing that that's not the case, because we can firmly argue, hey, whoa, like everything, if you don't do e-commerce and you deal in products, you're not doing business, right? Your business is significantly undervalued. Would you agree? He goes, and there's no point in trying to guess. So no business can risk not pushing e-commerce if there's the slightest indication that it will become an important distribution channel for its goods and services, if not the most important one. So he was optimistic, right? And he kind of plays protagonist with the argument. He plays both sides, right? He's for it, he's against it. He's kind of, putting it there for you in a sense. And we know where this is already headed and where it is and what's to come because of what we've learned from the changes over the past 20 years, right? So here's the action point. List 3 main ways e-commerce has changed your distribution channels and the 3 ways it will change those channels in the next few years. So in the next few years from when this was written, you would be saying 2007. So think about what happened even from the dot-com era, so we'll say 2002 to 2007, and everything that happened in it, because when he wrote the book and when it was published, right, when it was published was 2004. So the changes from then to then are phenomenal. And then you go to date. Right now, we're already talking about AI and households being run by just about every kind of, I don't know, system you can think of. I mean, from Alexa to Siri to bots controlling those and your lights and your fridge and your fridge telling you when to go shopping. I mean, like, it's crazy, right? So you tell me.